Hi, and welcome to episode 5 of Marketing Girl. I'm Natalia, and I'm a real life marketing girl. If you want to learn more about me, just watch episode 1 or listen to episode 1 of Marketing Girl, and you can learn more about my career. In today's episode, I want to talk about influencer marketing because I'm trying to be an influencer myself on this channel. But the thing is, I want to talk about one influencer in particular because she's been coming up on my feed a lot, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Insta. And there's been a lot that's been going on with her. And there's a lot of opinions that people have formed about this content creator. And I want to look at this from the perspective of a marketer and I guess give my take on what exactly has happened with her. The creator is Wizard Liz. So a lot of you, especially if you follow content that is empowering, if you follow content that talks about manifestation, living the life of your dreams, following a path where you're in control, loving yourself, you may have come across this content creator. She has, looking at it from a stats perspective, as I always do in my videos, she has 8.5 million followers on YouTube, and she's done that with just 130 videos. Her journey on YouTube started in 2016, and she does shorts, videos, and posts. And some of her content includes videos such as Your Blessings Are Coming, which has 1.9 million views, How to Detach and Demand Respect, which has 500,000 views, and Understanding How Valuable You Are, which has 3.2 million views. She's on TikTok. She has 7.8 million views, including one video that has 18 million views on it. She has an Insta following too, but it's lower than the others. She's very much, from a marketing looks perspective, someone who commercially would do better on YouTube and TikTok, because there's a certain look that does better on those platforms in general, and she definitely fits that. She also has a vibe that fits these two platforms, and that is a vibe of authenticity. If you watched any of her content, you'll know exactly what I mean. She sounds like the friend that you really wish that you had, the big sister for some younger viewers, maybe even the fairy godmother. In fact, there's a term for these kinds of influencers, and they belong to this universe called the Femisphere. Now, some of you may have heard of the Manosphere, and Louis Theroux did that documentary about the Manosphere. The Femisphere kind of operates on the same principles. A lot of Femisphere influencers do content that is empowering, that have these kinds of messages, that and these influencers themselves, they look like the ideal of what a lot of people want to be as a woman. Wizard Liz is gorgeous. There's no denying the woman is stunning, and that definitely plays a part in terms of how she has been able to grow her social count. I hate to put that in there, but sometimes that is the reality it is the reality with social media and advertising in general. Looks do actually play a part. And she definitely has this look of approachability and trust, but also this look where she's made it. Now, everything was going pretty well for Wizard Liz, the 25-year-old from Belgium with the real name Liz Zay or Liz Pajabarlova, until she got married and her husband decided to cheat on her. Now, as a marketer, my advice to her at that point, if I was looking after marketing, would be just to to not announce that in such a public way, the way she did. But the thing is that as an influencer, as a 20-something-year-old, she announced it to the world. And with that, she has lost followers. Her content has lost its viewership, and it's created a whole set of creators basically creating content about Wizard Liz in terms of her downfall and her being a cautionary tale in the world of influencers. My opinion as a marketer is Wizard Liz was very young when she started off in the influencer game. She was literally 16, 17 years old. She was a child. And if you watch her video, she's incredibly charismatic, and that is the reason that she has been able to get the follower base that she has. The other reason is that she has said some extreme things and now is living the opposite of what she has said, especially her perceptions about men. The internet thrives on shock value content, in particular TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Anything short form, when you're creating content, you're basically creating content where you want to create a spectacle because you've just got a couple of seconds to engage someone. They don't know the title of your video. They don't even get a choice to search. Well, they can, but they don't get to really understand who you are before they actually watch your video. The world of TikTok is a fascinating one as well because anyone can be an expert. There's multiple people in the marketing industry on TikTok that are not real marketers. They have not worked in marketing. Some of them have not studied marketing, and some of them are giving really bad advice about marketing. Now, talking about marketing isn't really a major thing on TikTok, but talking about women's empowerment, manifestation, loving yourself, being a wealthy woman on your own terms, those are things that are going to get views because it is social media after all. And platforms like TikTok, which market itself to the masses, people are in a state of mind where they're looking at their personal situation, and these influencers can present as role models, and sometimes it can be very, very easy to actually believe them because people like Wizard Liz are very, very good on camera. She's one of the best salespeople I've seen. She could, if she wanted to, get into a career in sales. She would probably do very, very well because she's very passionate about when she speaks. And even despite the scandals that she's had, she's continuing to do it. Recently, she made a video where she's referencing Michael Jackson. Like, she's on top of trends that are going on and then is linking it to her content. She's doing this kind of thing naturally. She's lost quite a bit of her base though. Her views are down, her followers are not engaged with her. They feel very, very betrayed. And this is kind of the negative side of if you create a personal brand for yourself on social media. People don't want you to change. You can become a comfort watch for someone, especially someone like her who's giving and dopamine hits in terms of a woman maybe who feels really bad, who wants to come and listen to someone say you're amazing. If you just work for 3 months on this, you can get there. It can be incredibly empowering for someone to have that kind of content in their life, especially if they're struggling to find the words themselves. But a lot of social media is also a money-making machine, and Wizard Liz is no exception to that. She has definitely profited off her social media through brand deals and other things, and it really does destroy some of that authenticity that a lot of these creators present. Now, with her situation, after she was cheated on, she's still trying to recover. She's keeping on going. And as a marketer, that's probably the advice I would give her. I would also give her the advice of starting another business, starting some kind of brand. This would be the right time to invest some of that money that you made and trying to get out of this, because this influencer game is a long one, and yes, you can stay in it a long time, but if she wants to have a life where she lives with authenticity, like what she talks about, it might be time for her to diversify her career and really look at what else she wants to do. She's so young. She's 25 years old. Her whole life is really ahead of her.